They're on pavements, in gardens, and in our local parks. If you're in the Northeast, you've probably seen a spotted lanternfly this summer.
The invasive species has now spread to 19 states, devouring dozens of plants, most notably grapevines, as correspondent Dima Zain reports.
In the foothills of Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains, Loving Cup Vineyard buzzes with life.
There's just a host of tiny little insects that you would never know were there, but they're constantly working for you.
But this year, owner Carl Hamsch says it's crawling with a new, unwelcome visitor.
This is a spotted lanternfly adult.
The bug doesn't feed on grape leaves or fruit like other invasive species.
It sticks a straw into the vine and it sucks the sap from the vine, the energy out of the vine. So it's like a little vampire.
As Virginia's only certified organic vineyard and winery, Loving Cup can't spray conventional insecticides to kill the little freeloaders. So Hamsch has taken a drastic step, removing about 15 to 25% of the vineyard's fruit.
We removed all the clusters off of these vines to allow them to bank the extra energy just to grow leaves and to prepare themselves for infestation by spotted lanternfly.
Young spotted lanternflies feast on more than 70 plant species, but when they mature into adults, they become pickier eaters and mainly focus on two plants: the tree of heaven, another invasive species, and grapevines.
Every invasive that has come into the vineyard has ultimately been absorbed by nature, but this is one that we might lose the vineyard for.
Virginia's wineries are just the latest targets of the spotted lanternfly, which first arrived in the country about a decade ago on a shipment of stone from Asia to southeastern Pennsylvania. They hit the Keystone States wineries hard, says entomologist Doug Pfeiffer.
When it was first introduced, before people really knew what it was or how to handle it, there were actually entire blocks of vineyards that were killed by the feeding of spotted lanternfly.
These bugs have made a slow, destructive rampage south, hitchhiking on trucks, trains, and cars. After arriving here in Virginia in 2018, spotted lanternflies exploded across the region, and experts say they're here to stay.
So in the near term, near to midterm, we can have high numbers because of the lack of natural enemies to provide natural control.
While they're now part of the landscape across much of the Northeast, Virginians are adjusting to the state's new red and polka-dotted residents.
I've seen them everywhere.
They make me extremely angry. They're all over our deck. We can't even enjoy spending time on the deck as a family.
They'll like randomly fly in my face when I'm, walking back from work or something. It's kind of funny.
And some have taken up the call from state and local governments to kill the bugs on site.
I heard they're pretty invasive, so I do kill them.
We squish them.
But not without some hesitation.
There are fellow mortals, so I do have mixed emotions about it.
But does squashing lanternflies actually help? Bug expert Doug Pfeiffer says it depends.
In those early stages, in the very beginning, you could possibly slow things down that way. But once it's in an area, that's really not going to retard the population growth very much.
They've been spotted as far south as Atlanta and as far west as Chicago. And studies show they could eventually make their way to California, home to the nation's largest wine region.
Good job!
But scientists are researching how to enlist other species in the effort to stop the spread.
Yes!
One recent study found that dogs can be trained to sniff out lanternfly eggs.
Good boy.
And another is looking into bringing its natural predators from overseas, two types of parasitic wasps. Back at Loving Cup Winery, Carl Hamsch hopes nature will rebalance soon.
Every other invasive that has come through the vineyard seemed really scary at first, and once we learned about it, we understood what we could tolerate. And also, to a certain extent, nature has adjusted itself to absorb the new invasive. It takes time, but once nature gets moving, it can do quite a bit.
For now, local wine drinkers are hoping that Mother Nature gets a move on. For PBS NewsHour, I'm Dima Zain in Northern Virginia.